Welcome back, everybody. My name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. Sorry, I'm a little sweaty. I've been working, moving boxes all morning. And I'm here to talk to you guys about... I love Pioneer. Like, it's like the greatest gift from Wizards of the Coast to anybody in the world who pretty much has sealed product from Return to Ravnica or Ford. For any regular Magic player, evil investor, collector, 3% of the young ladies, someone who's a distributor, store owner, whoever you are in this spectrum, it's pretty much a win for everybody if it gets traction and can stand the test of time. I love Pioneer. And I just literally want to give whoever came up with it the biggest reach around hug. Like, I want to take you out for drinks. And I mean, I don't know if everybody fully understands the implications of if this actually works long term and what this could actually mean for the new age sealed product people. I know I'm a little late to the little Pioneer discussion, but after the announcement of the Pioneer, I wanted to obviously give it a couple days, see how everybody just kind of calms down. And then it turns out, after the patrons and everybody started finding out, I was swamped with hundreds and hundreds of messages of everything from shameless Rudy plug to the patrons like, Rudy, all those cases you've been selling me for years, oh my God. To other stores that are like, holy crap. There are other store owners that were like, I got text messages saying, Rudy, you know, I got all this extra inventory. I'm so glad I kept it. Everybody thought keeping Gatecrash and Return to Ravnica and Magic Origins and Eldritch, everybody said these were just terrible. And now all of a sudden, everything's changed. I got another video coming out here with, hi Challenger decks, did you miss me? And what a massive, massive, game-changing event for the sealed product world. This is a huge, huge win for the evil sealed product investors. I mean, across the world. Whoever did it and has held any of this stuff, it's a huge win. I mean, now, on top of that, it's a huge win for players. Any player who's been buying or into Magic in the last, 6 years, since 2013, 2014 with the RTR Ford, I mean, most of these newer players, especially younger players, maybe they're still in high school or college or, just trying to get into the game, they enjoy playing. Most of these people have a lot of standard cards or ex-standard cards that are now modern cards that aren't worth very much. We were in this era of Challenger decks reprinting everything to the ground, massive print runs in all the new sets, and of course the going joke. Everybody knows, I'm not rich enough to invest in standard because everything just tanks after they cycle. And well, suddenly, this really does change a lot of things. I've noticed an immediate behavior change from a couple distributors on just me asking about boxes that are even from the Ixalan or Core 2019. I don't know if you guys can even see that in the frame down way at the end. And it's really created this really knee-jerk reaction on what I didn't expect. And I didn't see it coming. I knew there was always attempts to make new formats. The Frontiers, the Brawls, now the Pioneer. There's always going to be something. And there's been a lot of old formats along the years that have come and gone that a lot of you just you weren't around, or you just kind of like, I don't remember that. And, I don't know if Pioneer is going to get traction. It feels like it because it has the backing of the major events in WotC, and they actually want to make it legitimate. Usually that's a huge, huge sign that it actually will make it. And if you really stand back and think about it, Modern's been around for so long, the card pool, and then the amount of sets. What is it? How many sets? 40, 50? I don't know how many sets go back to Modern legal. Since 8th edition? When they changed the card frame or something? It's just crazy. But here's the thing. Most of you watching this video weren't playing Magic, 15 years ago. So Modern really kind of priced out along the newer, younger players, and it wasn't a good fit for them. So, I get that. And, what better point to make it than make it for RTR Ford, Return to Ravnica Ford, because that was when the print runs were amped up, and that's when the prices became cheap. So it's fascinating to always not factor in kind of that black swan event. Think about this. I genuinely didn't see this coming. And I saw some new format coming eventually, because eventually every so many years there's always a new format. But I didn't see the concept. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of the name Pioneer. I think it's kind of cheesy, kind of cliche-ish, kind of off. Doesn't have a good vibe to it, like modern, legacy, vintage. Okay, standard. Pioneer. I don't know. I feel like some dude with a pitchfork running down a big farmland or something. I don't know. I feel it's just kind of strange to me. But I don't know how this changes the perception if this is a flash in the pan, if it kind of goes back to normal. But right now, it feels like it's got legs. And we like it when she has legs. And we think, this can actually make a run for it. And I really can't emphasize the game changer on this. On sets, like Gatecrash or something, I mean, think about it. The Shockland, and with fetch lands being the only thing that's initially not allowed, I actually kind of agree with that, because otherwise it would be a race to cons to get the fetch lands. And since Wizards is pretty much never ever going to print an allied or enemy fetch land again in Standard, I actually I get it, because they're going to use their reprint equity in a very different aspect. And you can't blame them. You really can't. Still doesn't answer a lot of the other questions with these mystery packs and weird things, and I know next year with all these new products and commander variants and all these things happening, it's pretty exciting. It's interesting. Only time will tell how this stuff unfolds and how the market accepts or rejects it. But I really do think the Pioneer concept, if they can push that through the system, more than anything, I think it's a huge win for LGSs around the country and the world. I really do. Because the average LGS does have stagnant inventory that they weren't trying to invest in. They just have leftover inventory from just every product that's come and gone. And I think that's actually, I feel like that was taken into consideration when they decided where to put that cutoff. Like, for example, I mean, why didn't Wizards just take the starting point instead of Return to Ravnica? Why didn't they move it, forward a couple sets and include, I don't know, Avacyn Restored, Dark Ascension, Innistrad, Scars, Besieged, New Phyrexia. So I mean, I actually at first I was like, but I have to admit, the point they placed it at, I think is the correct spot. I really do. I actually think at first I was very kind of thinking about it, watching everybody's reaction, this and that, and I mean, I don't think Modern should be phased out, but I guess I kind of agree. I guess it should be kind of put on the back burner because the sets that those cards come from are so old now. And the boxes of that era is so expensive. I mean, you try to get boxes of World Wake or Original Zen or Morning Tide or any of these old I mean, these are big. I mean, these are $500 to $1,000 booster boxes. And even then, I mean, you're not going to get all the good cards. I mean, that's just to get a draft box. So, I don't know. I almost feel like these are the type of moves that Wizards likes to use as kind of almost like throwing a bone to LGSs. In other words, this is their method of supporting LGSs. It's kind of a weird take on the concept. And I actually kind of agree with it. I think it's smart. In other words, by saying less and doing less, but kind of making very strategic moves, you actually help the LGS without directly manipulating the distribution market or trying to make WPN exclusive. Nope, Amazon.com exclusive. Nope, big box store. Okay, split with everybody. Nope, Hasbro Pulse Direct. Pulse Hasbro's eBay's Face Direct. I mean, you see what I'm saying? So, I mean, I get it. But I mean, by doing this, I don't know if everyone fully understands that, but anyone who owns an LGS or is in this business for long periods of time, the age-old joke in the sports card world, in the Magic world, the Pokemon world is, if you run an LGS or you own a business with a distributor, if you're doing this stuff for 10, 20, 30 years, your retirement plan is essentially your leftover inventory. For the longest time, that was generally the accepted concept of your 401k for being a small business owner in this industry. And, when you look back at that, it used to really hold true, but everyone said, Return to Ravnica 4, Gatecrash, Dragon's Maze. Do I have a Dragon's Maze? Yeah, I do have a Dragon's Maze. That really, that dream was kind of shattered. That potential to retire or sell your business and sell the rest of your inventory for 6 figures to retire it kind of died in that era, So, let me make sure my camera's still going. I know it's been funky lately. All right, cool. But no, I mean, think about it, everybody. It kind of makes sense on why they did the Challenger deck set, which is another video. I'm going to be discussing that. It kind of wraps together a lot of certain things where we all would say, why are they reprinting that card or that batch of card or that cycle of this and that or those cycle of lands? Or why are they doing that when it doesn't really need to be reprinted? You've got a laundry list of probably hundreds and hundreds, if not 1,000 modern cards that need to be reprinted. Even if they're just uncommons or not even talking mythics back in the day. We're just talking, you know, just regular cards that need to be reprinted. And we all were commenting, and everybody was very confused in the last couple of years because Wizards wasn't really cashing in on reprint equity in the last 12 months. It's like they did a hard stop, turn off the valve. And I found that to be very intriguing. Why did we go through this era of massive reprints, massive Master Series, all this stuff? I mean, they were cashing in left and right. I mean, and then it's just like reprint, and then hard stop, straight to zero. It wasn't even like a slow, okay, you guys are addicted to reprints. We're going to slowly wean you off your addiction. No. They went to just reprint, okay, cold turkey. And I always thought that was weird. I never really fully understood why they did that knee-jerk change like that. And I think when they did that knee-jerk change about a year ago, that's when they realized that they wanted to take the Pioneer direction. If I have to put the puzzle pieces together without any authorized information, that would be my mindset. Because if I was sitting at that boardroom with no pants on the top floor of the 15th Ivory Tower, you know, next to the Lava Claws, I would definitely say the same thing. I would be sitting there saying, okay, we're cashing on this reprint stuff, it's crushing card prices, we're starting to get a lot of pushback, distributors are getting stuck with the product, the prices are tanking in the secondary market, we may need to ease off the throttle. And then, you know, Bob and Lumberg in the corner say, actually, I have an idea. And then we just tell Lumberg to go get us some coffee. And then Bob, number 2, stands up and says, well, what if we just do a new format focusing on the new era cards and we kind of walk away from these old modern reprint style expensive sets because of the volatility and what we're doing? And I actually think that's pretty interesting. I actually think if somebody said that to me, I would sit there and go, huh. At first, I would really not sure how to absorb that. And then the more I thought about that, that's actually a pretty good idea. So here we are, fourth quarter, 2019. Next year, again, looks like a bunch of Commander stuff. Obviously, they're holding true to their No More Master Series. I'm not surprised by that. They're definitely holding true to raising prices. And, you know, we've all been paying those higher prices. You know, it is what it is. And again, if you and I were working at the boardroom, those of you watching and myself, and we were paid on that compensation in our job, we would probably make the same decision of, I guess we might as well raise prices because everybody's paying it. So, you know, when you look at the Pioneer thing, it's like, wow, we can really just focus on these new things, not worry about it, and we can save a lot of that old reprint equity. And then when we do our annual super expensive set, and you guys all know it's coming. Come on. We all know it's coming. You know there's a set coming that's not going to be called Ultimate Masters that's going to have some $300 to $400 MSRP that there's no MSRP, so you can't say it, but you know what's going to happen. Wholesale is going to be $200 to $300. Retail is going to be $300. You know it's coming as they continue, because again, they keep proving they can raise the prices and we all buy it. And what better way than to lock in all that old reprint equity and just save it for these new super $300 to $400 booster boxes. Oh, you guys want the enemy fetch lands and allied fetch lands from Khans and Original Zen? Sure. Here's the new version of Super Ultimate Deluxe Mega Chalupa Party Pack Masters, and it's $400 a box. And, you know, you got all 10 fetch lands in it. You got all your reprints. You got a lot. You see my point? That's what they're going to use it for, because they need something to justify the high prices. So they have to save the high-priced older cards for these things. And that definitely seems like what's happening here. And I think Pioneer is going to be a good fit kind of to I don't know, self-correct the market from all the new sets and make it really line up good. And I don't see why it wouldn't work. And I think it's going to be very healthy. And I think it might actually give a good end-user experience to the customers, the players, the investors, the collectors, because I don't really see any negativity with it. It seems like a win-win for me. I'm not seeing, now the only thing people are going to be upset about is obviously all the inside trading, Rudy, this and that, the prices are already, of course. Of course, follow the money, everybody. Well, honestly, when I first heard about the inside trading and all the price spikes, you know what that told me? I wasn't upset about it. I just said, typical. My initial response was, wow, Pioneer is going to be a real format. Because the big shady people with the big deep pocketbooks and the channel snowballs and the Flying Kingdom castles that are really awesome stuff, they're the ones moving the money. I don't do that stuff. I don't know anybody who does that kind of stuff because I don't care. And the other evil investors out there, we don't move standard modern cards. We just don't do that. The only standard modern stuff myself and other investors I know of handle are the sealed product. The only singles they like are old legacy vintage. You see my point? So when I saw the market start knee-jerking and spiking everything, my initial reaction was, wow, the big players actually think this is legit and they're parking their money and they're placing their bets early. That's what that told me. Doesn't make it right. I know they did it before public information, but there's nothing we can do about it. But what that told me was follow the money, and the money says that Pioneer's here to stay. When Frontier and all this other crap happened, guess what? I don't remember all these spikes and everybody buying out Frontier cards. There were some small little dribble attempts, and of course nothing held, but it wasn't like this. We didn't see jumps that were like this. I mean, I didn't see sealed product jump in price from Frontier. I didn't see the single massive percentage changes. Where this time around, not only is the sealed product all been adjusted higher. I mean, do I have Theros? I don't even know if I have Theros. Theros boxes, did you see the price? Original, just Theros, which was deemed a major garbage disaster. Everything has moved up in price. So, that's what I see, everybody. I'm really happy about it. This is my excited face. I'm really, really happy this is the direction. I think it's going to be healthy and good for the game. It's going to help newer players feel more involved in a format outside of Standard without spending tons of money. Yes, the prices of the cards are going to go up. The prices of the sealed boxes are probably going to go up at a higher rate. Because always remember, the sealed product always must be worth more than the value of the cards in the box to prevent arbitrage. So that's all I really have to say everybody. I know a lot of people have been waiting for my response on Pioneer to really discuss this stuff. Obviously, outside of this video, I still have a lot of concerns with the amount of variance and different things going on. And for those of you all still watching this video this late in the video, I'm going to run the most ridiculous Black Friday sale you've probably ever seen. And for November and patrons and everything, happy Halloween, by the way. Moving forward, I'm also going to start including more of a selection out-of-print boxes that are even recent out-of-print stuff in the last couple of years, because a lot of patrons have been asking for sealed cases and things from, everything from the Core 19s to the Ixalans to even the Gate Crash. In other words, the sets that have been out of print, even if they missed it and everything. So we're going to start bringing some of those type of things back and add that to our, not $79.99, unfortunately, that's just for the standard boxes, but we're going to bring that. And for those of you who watched to the end also, I remain a huge fan of the Throne Collector's boxes, and I'm in the process of accumulating very large amounts. And I'm currently over 300 already. And really excited about Pioneer. Tell me what you guys think. Have a great day.